The sky bled crimson as twin suns sank beneath the jagged horizon of Zephyros 9, casting long shadows across the barren plains. The air was thick with the acrid scent of sulfur and the low hum of distant predators hunting in the darkness. Among the rocky ridges, a figure staggered, fragile and trembling, a girl, unlike any creature that roamed the planet. Her skin shimmered faintly like liquid silver, her eyes an iridescent violet that reflected the dying suns. She was alone. Her name was Lyra. Once, she had been a member of a great alien civilization that spanned multiple galaxies, known for their elegance, intellect, and command over energy manipulation. But the war came like a storm no one could escape. Her people had fallen to marauders who preyed on worlds weak and scattered. Lyra had been abandoned, left to die on Zephyros 9, a planet known among the stars for its savage beasts and treacherous terrain. Every step she took brought her closer to exhaustion. Her limbs ached, her throat burned from thirst, and her mind was a whirl of panic and sorrow. She had wandered through forests of crystalline trees, the branches sharp like daggers, and across rivers that glowed with toxic bioluminescence. Every creature she saw, scaled, fanged, or multi-eyed, seemed to hunger for her fragile body. Her captor, or, rather, her betrayer, was none other than Commander Varek, a human-turned-mercenary who had once promised sanctuary but had instead sold her to the raiders. His voice still echoed in her memory, "You'll die here. No one will come for you." Lyra collapsed against a jagged rock, tears cutting streaks through the silver dust on her cheeks. She wept, not just for herself but for the civilization she had lost, for the family she would never see again. Her grief was so profound that even the wind seemed to pause, mourning with her. Hours passed. The temperature dropped sharply as the twin moons rose. From the shadows emerged the hulking shapes of the Korath beasts of nightmare proportions, covered in obsidian scales, with eyes like molten gold. Lyra's pulse spiked. She could feel their hunger, their predatory intent. They sniffed the air, circling her, their claws scratching the stones as they approached. She tried to summon her energy manipulation, a gift inherited from her lineage, but her reserves were depleted from days of running, hiding, and weeping. The beasts advanced, and for the first time, she truly believed she would die alone. Then a voice cut through the night, a human voice, calm but firm. "Hey! Over here!" Lyra froze. Humans were rare in this quadrant, and they were almost always aligned with the raiders or mercenaries. But this voice, it held urgency, yes, but also something else, compassion. A figure emerged from behind a ridge. He was tall, wiry, and carried a strange-looking energy rifle that hummed faintly. His uniform was battered and dusty, evidence that he had been traveling across the plains for a while. "Come on, run," he shouted, waving her toward him. The Korath hesitated, sensing something unfamiliar in him. In that moment, Lyra found strength in sheer desperation. She leapt from the rock, her body moving on instinct. The human caught her arm, pulling her behind a jagged boulder just as the first of the beasts lunged forward, claws raking the stone where she had been seconds before. "Who are you?" Lyra gasped, her voice trembling. "Call me Jeren," he replied. "No time to explain. We have to get out of here." They ran, dodging jagged rock formations and leaping across sulphurous streams. Lyra stumbled repeatedly, but Jeren's grip kept her upright. Somewhere behind them, the beasts were still hunting, their shrieks echoing through the canyons. Finally, they reached a narrow canyon that opened into a hidden cave network. Jeren pushed a panel on the cave wall, revealing a concealed entrance. "Inside," he urged. "You'll be safe for now." Inside, the cave was dark but surprisingly warm. Bioluminescent fungi clung to the walls, casting an eerie green glow. Lyra sank to the ground, gasping, her body trembling with relief and exhaustion. Jeren knelt beside her, scanning her for injuries. "You're lucky you made it this far," he said. "Not many survive the Korath." Lyra's hands shook. Why are you helping me?" Jaren hesitated. "Because someone has to. And because I can't let her die." His eyes softened, and for a fleeting moment, Lyra felt something she hadn't in weeks: hope. Over the next few days, Jaren and Lyra navigated the labyrinthine caves, moving cautiously to avoid the predators above. Jaren explained that he was part of a small human exploration team, mapping the outer rim of Zephyros 9. He had been tracking the movements of raiders and mercenaries, trying to stop them from enslaving the rare and valuable alien lifeforms of the planet. Lyra listened, absorbing his words like a parched plant absorbing water. She wanted to trust him, but the memories of betrayal were still fresh. Yet something about his calm determination and genuine concern made her dare to believe. As they traveled deeper into the cave network, they encountered remnants of old alien civilizations, crumbling temples, broken statues, and faded murals depicting beings with shimmering skin like Lyra's. Each sight brought a pang of sorrow but also a sense of connection. She was not alone. Echoes of her ancestors lingered in these ruins. One night, as they camped in a small cavern, Lyra finally spoke of her past. "I was part of a great civilization. We were explorers, scholars, warriors, but then the war came. They took everything." Her voice broke, and she buried her face in her hands. Jaren placed a hand gently on her shoulder. "I don't know what you've lost," he said softly, "but you're still here. That counts for something. I'll make sure you survive, Lyra. I promise." Days turned into a week. Lyra's strength slowly returned, aided by the strange herbs and water filters Jaren carried. She began to show glimpses of her energy-manipulating abilities again, though weakly. Together, they set traps and wards to keep the Korath at bay, and for the first time, Lyra felt a flicker of agency. But safety was fleeting. One morning, the cave trembled as a loud roar echoed through the corridors. The Korath had found them. The ground shook with their massive strides, and dust rained from the cavern ceiling. "Stay close," Jaren warned, drawing his rifle. "We're going to have to fight our way out." Lyra's hands glowed faintly with silver energy. Fear surged through her, but it was tempered with resolve. "I won't let them take me again," she said. The Korath burst into the cavern, black scales gleaming, eyes aflame with hunger. Jaren fired, the energy pulses hitting the nearest beasts and sending them reeling. Lyra concentrated, unleashing a wave of energy that knocked several more off their feet. The combined force of human technology and alien power proved formidable, but the beasts were relentless. Just as the last Korath lunged for Lyra, she felt a surge of clarity. Channeling every ounce of strength, she extended her energy outward in a protective dome, forcing the creatures back with a shockwave that cracked the cavern walls. Dust and debris filled the air, but when it settled, the beasts had retreated, unwilling to challenge such a display of power. Lyra collapsed, exhausted but triumphant. Jaren knelt beside her, concern etched on his face. "You did it," he said. "You're stronger than I imagined." Lyra looked at him, a mixture of gratitude and something deeper forming in her violet eyes. I couldn't have done it without you." Together, they emerged from the cave network into the harsh light of the twin suns. Zephyros 9 stretched out before them, vast and unforgiving, but no longer entirely hostile. For the first time since her abandonment, Lyra felt the possibility of life beyond survival. Jaren offered her a hand. "We're not done yet," he said. "There's more to this planet, more to reclaim. But we'll face it together." Lyra took his hand, her energy shimmering brighter in response. "Together," she echoed. As they walked toward the horizon, the winds seemed to carry away the shadows of the past. The beasts, the betrayal, the sorrow, they were behind her now. Lyra's tears had dried, replaced by determination. A human had saved her, but she would not remain a victim. She would fight, reclaim her destiny, and perhaps one day, return to the stars as the survivor she was meant to be. And so, abandoned among beasts, the alien girl had wept, but she had also been rescued. And in that rescue, she had found something even rarer than survival: trust, companionship, and the first spark of hope in a universe that had almost forgotten her.